Treasure Island, Episode 7. How James's adventure began. Hunter never woke up and died. Jem decided to go to find Bengal's boot and leave Squire and Grey for protection in Stockade. It was second time to risk his life or do ridiculous things.
Hunter never regained consciousness and died the following day.
Job Anderson's bullet broke your shoulder blade and nicked your lung, but not badly,
The doctor told him.
The second bullet tore some calf muscles, but you'll recover. For the next few weeks, don't walk or move your arm if you can help it.
After eating, the squire and the doctor sat and talked beside the captain for a while. A little past noon, Dr. Livesey grabbed his hat and pistols, strapped on a cutlass, and put the map in his pocket. With a musket over his shoulder, he crossed the north side of the fence and set off briskly through the trees.
He's probably going to see Ben Gunn.
I said.
I hate the stink of blood and all these dead bodies around.
We scrubbed the blood off the floor, but I needed a good reason to leave my friends.
I'll go find Ben Gunn's boat.
I told myself. I filled my pockets with biscuits so I wouldn't be hungry, and I took 2 pistols, gunpowder, and some bullets. While the squire and Grey helped the captain with his bandages, I bolted over the fence and into the trees. I saw a familiar pirate sitting in a shore boat alongside the ship, talking and laughing with 2 men leaning over the ship's stern.
Long John Silver.
Long John shoved off in the boat and rowed for shore.
It's going to get dark soon.
The white rock, visible above the trees. By the time I touched the rock's rough sides, the area was hard to see clearly, but right below in a ditch was Ben Gunn's boat. It was a very small, crooked structure of tough wood covered with stretched goatskin. There was one low seat, a kind of stretcher in the front, and a double paddle for propulsion. After having found Ben Gunn's boat, I should have returned to the stockade, but suddenly I had a great idea.
I'll cut the Hispaniola adrift,
I said to myself. One was the great fire where the pirates were drinking in the swamp, and the other was a mere blur of light in the dark fog, the anchored ship's cabin window. The tide was out, and I sank in. It was quite buoyant, but crooked and difficult to manage. The boat turned every direction but the one I wanted to go, and most of the time I went sideways. But fortunately, as I paddled, the tide swept me along, and soon the Hispaniola loomed right in front of me, pitch black in the darkness. Soon I was alongside the ship and next to the thick, twined rope of the anchor line. I grabbed hold. I took out my pocket knife, opened it with my teeth, and cut one thick strand after another.
You stupid swab!
One man shouted.
I deserve a bigger share of the money!
I recognized the voice of Israel Hands, and deduced that he was the other pirate left on the ship with Redcap. They were drunk and arguing. Israel and Redcap were locked in deadly combat, each with a hand upon the other's throat. Meanwhile, on shore, the glow of the great campfire burned warmly through the trees. Someone was singing an old sailor song.
But one of her crew was still alive, of the ship that sailed with 75.
I felt the rope go limp once more, and with a good, tough effort, I cut the last thick strands. The ship began to turn, spinning slowly across the current. I glanced over my shoulder. There, right behind me, was the glow of the campfire, but it was quickly getting smaller.
I'm being pulled away from the island.
I thought in a panic. Bubbling higher, the water was sweeping the Hispaniola and Ben Gunn's boat through the narrow, rocky strait.
Lord, save me.
I prayed as I lay down flat in the bottom of my little boat.
I'm going to die.
I cried as I shut my eyes tight. I must have lain in Ben Gunn's boat for hours, beaten to and fro by the waves, drenched with the flying ocean spray, and expecting death at every moment. Gradually, weariness and numbness overtook me, and I fell asleep in my sea-tossed little boat. I dreamed of home, and the old Admiral Benbow